Welcome, my political friends of the interwebs. Today we are going to be cleaning the Smith & Wesson 686. Beautiful, beautiful gun. While we talk about some politics. That's right. Did anybody see the debate between Scott Brown, Senator of Massachusetts, the guy that took Ted Kennedy's seat, and Elizabeth Warren, the fake Indian? Did anybody see that? You know what? Hey, hang on. Before I even start that, let me dedicate this video. I don't think I've ever dedicated a video to anybody before, so I think this is a first for me. I've got a longtime YouTube subscriber. His name's Wolf. He's a Native American. His YouTube channel name is Arbuckle Woodsman. I'm going to put a link to a tribute video that he did for me. It was a really great video. Probably one of the nicest tribute videos anybody has ever done for me, ever. And it's got a really great soundtrack, so you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. But check him out, and you know what? Subscribe to the guy. He's good people. He really is. He's good people. Now listen, Elizabeth Warren. Let me, in case you don't know, Elizabeth Warren, who's a Harvard college professor, has claimed to be a Native American. Okay, claimed to be a Native American. The problem for her is this. There ain't no evidence in the world showing that she's Native American. No, there ain't a lick of evidence showing that she's got a drop of Native American blood in her. In fact, I think I'm going to start calling her Pinocchiohontas. Pinocchiohontas. So here's what she did. When she was younger, she started putting down that she was a Native American because there were some advantages put in place. Call it affirmative action, call it whatever you want, but there were some advantages to be able to claim that you were of minority status. You know, a lot of people, when they think of that, they think of African Americans, but the truth is, it covers a lot of minorities. Well, she took full advantage of that based on a lie. Literally, based on a lie. Now, she claims that she didn't know the truth. In fact, and I'll use this term because the liberals really love it, she's doubling down on the lie. Literally, she's doubling down on the lie. What she claims is that her mother told her ever since she was a wee little child that she was of Native American ancestry. So she, and it's funny because in the debate, hey, listen, Scott Brown called her out on that and basically said she's a liar. I mean, for all he didn't say she's a liar, but he basically said clearly she's not what she said she was. And she says that her rebuttal to that was, well, ever since I was a child, my grandmother and my mother told me we were of Native American descent, and I never asked them for a birth certificate. I think my grandmother used to tell me, especially since my middle name is actually Lee, she used to tell me, now understand, my grandmother was a Southeast Kentucky, born and raised and died, Southeast Kentucky. She used to tell me that I was a direct descendant of Robert E. Lee, the general. The general. Now, when I was a little kid, I would tell my friends that, well, yeah, one of my relatives is General Robert E. Lee. But as I got a little older, I realized that probably is not the case. So, but Elizabeth Warren, by the time she became, adult age, she used that. I mean, there was no evidence. She had to have known as an adult that there was no evidence whatsoever that she was of Native American descent. And here's the thing, she lied several times. First, she tried to say that there was a marriage certificate with her, great-great-grandmother that claimed that she was of a certain tribe. And I don't remember what tribe that is. She claimed that that birth or that marriage certificate showed her great-great-grandmother or something, or maybe her grandmother, something of being of an Indian descent. Unfortunately for her, in today's world, you can actually verify records. It isn't like the old days where you could spin all kinds of bullshit and it would be hard to prove you wrong. The fact of the matter is that they went back through those marriage certificates through her whole family, everybody. And guess what they found? Nothing. Nothing stating that anybody in her family was a Native American at all. at all. And the funny thing about it is that even then, she still doubled down on the lie. Well, that's what I was told, and that's what I believe to be true. Well, here's the thing. And I only laugh about this because it's so pathetic. The fact that she's even in this race, and only in Massachusetts, could somebody like that, and by the way, I know I butcher the name Massachusetts all the time, but it is what it is. I'm not the one that named that state that goofy name that nobody could pronounce, except for people who actually live there. All right. Only people in mass could even remotely consider voting for somebody that claimed to be a Native American and wasn't. It was proved not to be, but here's the thing, here's the funny thing. The liberal media, and this is what really, really, really kills me. The liberal media, okay, because I watched the debate and I watched afterwards and I watched the pundits on, of course, MSL or was it what does Savage call it? MS shit. What's the psychedelic drug? PCP. MSPCP. Anyway, here's the funny thing. So when Scott Walker basically called her out for the lie, and he did. He said, look, she claimed to be a Native American. She used it to get ahead. Now, by the way, she said she never got ahead. Bullshit. I think we all know the truth on that. He said she used it to get ahead, and clearly she's not, what she said she was. Clearly. Well, here's the thing. MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, she says, and this is funny just to listen to her. She says, I don't know what debate she was listening to, but her rebuttal to the whole thing, or her answer to the whole thing was, Scott Brown has got a problem with Elizabeth Warren being Native American. She's not freaking Native American. Fuck. Are you kidding me? She's a liar. She's Pinocchiohontas. I mean, for God's sake, seriously? Scott Brown's got a problem with Elizabeth Walker being a Native American. No, he don't. He don't have a problem with her being a Native American. He has a problem with her lying about being a Native American. How is she even in this race? Is somebody, listen, do I have any, I know I have at least a couple subscribers that reside in the great state of Massachusetts. Could you help me with this one? How is she even in this thing? How? How has she not been ran out of town? And Harvard's nothing more than a diploma mill. Here's the other thing too. I'll be honest with you, it pisses me off. Harvard literally used her supposed, well, now we know false status as a minority, okay, to tout its liberal acceptance of minorities and diversified teaching staff. How do you like those apples? I mean, what a crock of shit. Harvard, you ought to be freaking ashamed of yourself. I know you're not, because of all the freaking college professors that are at Harvard. I don't remember who did this study, but there was like I think I'm just going to round up or down, whichever way it goes, 300 Harvard college professors. And of the 300 college professors, two identified themselves as Republicans. 2. Are you serious? Harvard. Freaking joke. Ivy League assholes. That's all I can think of when I think of Harvard. Ivy League assholes. Getting on their freaking high horse, talking down to the rest of us like we're all a bunch of freaking idiots. Truth be known, they're all a bunch of freaking con men. Bunch of freaking liars. Liars and cheats. It's exactly what you find at Harvard. And I'm sorry, it is what it is. If they don't like that characterization of them, then, prove me wrong. Literally, prove me wrong. It's just bullshit. And it's absolute, you know what? And here's the thing. I'm freaking insulted for the Native Americans in this country. The one group in this country that I believe that the United States owes the most. And we broke every freaking treaty we ever made with Native Americans. Every freaking one of them. We tried to commit genocide on them. We literally slaughtered them. We pushed them off their land. We put them on the shittiest land and gave it to them as a reservation. Oh, but then we found gold. Well, guess what? The red man's got to go. I mean, what the? Seriously? Oh, God. I mean, here's the sad thing. Native Americans are not a big voting bloc. They're just not. Between us giving them smallpox and slaughtering them, they're not a huge part of the population. They're just not. And they don't have the voice that, say, an African-American community would have. Because let me tell you something, and I know it'd be a little harder to do, but if somebody claimed to be African-American or African-American descent, if somebody was running for the Senate, the United States Senate, well, hell, if somebody was running for freaking dog catcher, and claimed to have African-American blood and got ahead. Well, hell, you know what? Even if they didn't get ahead. And we found out, if the people found out that that wasn't true or wasn't even verifiable, do you even have any idea how the media would come unglued? Well, you know what? Truthfully, it's a liberal thing, because I'll be honest with you. If it would have been Scott Brown in that situation, if you would reverse that, Scott Brown, the Republican, claiming to be Native American, okay, and Elizabeth Warren running against him as the Democrat for the Senate, and it was found out that there was no way in hell you could verify that I keep calling him Scott Walker, don't I? I'm sorry, Scott Brown. There's no way you could verify that Scott Brown, by the way, I just watched an interview with Scott Walker. That's the problem. And for those of you who don't know, Scott Walker's the governor of Wisconsin. But there's no way in hell you can convince me that the media wouldn't run Scott Brown out of town on a rail. Every black group, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, they'd all be coming unglued, demanding his head on a freaking stake. Literally. And not figuratively. They'd be coming unglued. But unfortunately, I don't know if I might have got a little sidetracked there. I guess I went back to the African American thing. But the truth of the matter is, I think you all know where I'm coming from on this. Literally, if Scott Brown would have claimed to be a Native American and they found out that he wasn't, the media would be coming unglued. But instead, they're doubling down with her. They're helping her but it's a lie. She's not Native American. I don't care, even if her story's right. And her story was basically, her mother told her that she was of Indian descent. Okay, that's what her mother told her. That's what she grew up believing. She heard all these great, oral history lessons from her family. Okay, let's say that's true. At some point, when you find out that, you know what, we can't really verify that stuff, so I really can't use it in this campaign. At what point don't you do the right thing? Apparently, if you're Elizabeth Warren, you don't have to do the right thing. If you're Elizabeth Warren, you've got MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC, and every other mainstream media outlet, including all the newspapers, supporting you in this and not calling you out. By the way, every single freaking one of the media should be embarrassed about this. Oh, you know what? Mobile Tech sent me a message today. Mobile Tech sent me a message and said, you got to do something. You got to say something about the media. Well, I have been, brother. Basically says that every show, I think he was talking about Face the Nation, but he said every news channel is nothing more than a campaign ad for Barack Obama. Yep. You know what? Nothing gets by in Mobile Tech. I'll tell you that right now. It's true. It's freaking true. It's journalistic treason. I don't know any other way to look at it. It's journalistic treason. What they do is freaking treason. They have a responsibility to this country. There's a reason that the First Amendment is first. It literally protects the integrity of the country. The integrity of democracy relies on a free freedom of the press, or a free and open press that speaks the truth. Instead, they're nothing more than a Joseph Goebbels propaganda machine. Look up Joseph Goebbels if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'll tell you, I'll save you the trouble looking it up. He was the propaganda minister for the Third Reich. Hitler's mouthpiece. That's what we have. Fucking pathetic. And it just is. There's no other way to look at it. It's fucking pathetic. I don't know. It is what it is. I wish people would get actively loud like me. So, anyway, that's all I got for you. See ya!